Do you need technology to get more from your riding? No, probably not. But if you're a bit of a gadget nerd like me, you don't need much of an excuse to get some cool new tech. So how could tech improve your riding? Tracking your rides so that you can prove to a potential partner how fit you are or how many KOMs you have. Navigation, so you never have to speak to a stranger in the woods ever again, you just follow your computer. Performance, yes, I did justify buying that 10 grand bike to get fitter. No, it's not just for fun. Safety, my wife particularly loves getting automatic messages every time I fall off my bike. That's quite a lot. Many of us like to use GPS devices to track our rides, things like phones, smartwatches and bike computers. Even some bikes can offer that nowadays. So we're talking through the pros and cons of each and talking about what different styles of riding they suit. Some of these GPS devices are a bit specialist or offer loads of features that you may not need. So I'm talking about phones, bike tech, and I'll be using a smartwatch and a bike computer from Garmin, because for full disclosure, they are a partner here at EMBN and they make these videos possible. But hopefully this information should help you no matter which brand you choose. Tracking. If you don't record your ride, was there any point doing it? I'm not sure. Some bikes will actually record your ride, and if they have a SIM card, like the Amflow, will upload your ride straight away to things like Strava. What else are they watching? Whilst other bikes will do it via a phone app. So Bosch Flow and the Specialized Mission Control are two good examples. There are some specific apps like Strava or Komoot that you can record your ride into. Most of them have e-bike setting in there as well, so they can more accurately tell you things like range or how long it's going to take you. And don't forget to record your bike, your ride, should I say, as e-assisted. Otherwise, you look like you're climbing like a super fit madman. Come on, own up if you've been doing that. I've seen varying degrees of accuracy when it comes to tracking using your phone. Maybe it's down to things like the GPS not updating very often. And that can lead to times are way off on shorter Strava segments. I've actually got a friend that Strava tells me is 15 seconds faster than me on a 45-second downhill, and we know that's impossible. But to be honest, I haven't used my phone to track a ride for a long time because I think there are some better options out there. But most people do have a smartphone, so you can track your rides already without having to spend anything else on any other bits of tech. I actually track my rides on either a bike computer or my watch, and I would say probably 70 or 80% of the time I do it on my watch. But both of these have really accurate ways of recording. So they both have multi-band GPS. It depends on how you set them up. There are sort of battery saving options in here. You can choose GPS only or all systems or all and multi-band or auto select. So it dynamically changes what it's using depending on your environment. So you get a really accurate track of where you've been, where you are, and records your rides really accurately, and it even sort of auto updates afterwards to get accurate elevation levels so that you know exactly how much climbing and descending you've done. As soon as I finish my rides, either tracking on computer or my watch, hit save, and if it's connected to my phone, it will auto update that ride data to Garmin Connect, my Komoot and my Strava all simultaneously, so I can really dig into details, or if I'm at home, it'll just do it straight off the Wi-Fi. Finding the right way and fast could be a matter of life or death, or just a better way of spending your time not getting lost in the woods. For planning a route, there's loads of options like Komoot, Garmin Connect, Ride with GPS, Strava, even the Bosch Flow app. Really good for planning that ride, and you can use your phone or you can use your watch or bike display or computer to follow that route. Phones with their big touchscreens are a really nice way of following that route for navigation. But you've got to think about the battery life for longer rides. Do you need your phone for safety for ringing if you have a problem? I would guess so. Some of the e-bikes I've had do have USB ports. You could charge your phone on the go if you wanted to, although I've never done that. I guess it's quite nice to have. You can use your watch for navigation, but I've got to say, if you're doing big rides, having a display up front is much more convenient and easy to use. Even the bigger display computers are great for more detail and having a bit more information on there as well as the map. So I think if you're doing big long rides, something up front, even your bike display like a Bosch Kiosk is a great way of doing it. I actually really enjoy sitting in front of my computer and plotting out a route, trying to link together cool features or trails I think might be good, and then checking the distance against the elevation graph and totals to make sure I can do it and the range of my bike is enough. Once I have just enough distance on my route to justify a whole day out of the office, I send it to my device and then I can do turn-by-turn navigation, and it even gives me an ETA to the pub at the end. A cool feature on my computer is also being able to reroute mid-ride. Say if I'm bitten off more than I can chew, I can get it to send me back to the start, and I can get back to the van for some refreshments. Whee! Some of these bike computers actually have really detailed maps on them as well. Can even show you the surface type, or even things like Strava segments, so you can do the routing on the computer itself. You don't even need your phone or your laptop to do it. I think it's time I got fitter. I'm not getting any younger. Some bike-specific apps like the Specialized Mission Control or Bosch Flow apps not only track your rides but also your riding data as well, so that can really help with tracking your fitness performance. And they'll sync directly with some third-party sites like Garmin Connect or Apple Health or Strava. Some bikes even let you connect your heart rate monitor directly to them. I know Specialized and Amflow do. Are there any others out there? I'm not sure. Also, Specialized will record your power, so the rider power, and that's a really good way of tracking your performance. If you do multi-sports, then a Smartwatch is a great one-stop shop for tracking everything, because it can track pretty much any type of exercise I'm doing, as well as my day-to-day steps and things like that. This Garmin Fenix 8 is super handy. It's got a built-in heart rate monitor on the back of it as well, so it can really track my fitness and performance. It's even got things like 32 gigabytes of memory, so when I'm running, I can pair my wireless headphones and I don't need to take my phone with me. So whilst they're not quite as good for navigation because I don't have it up front, they can be super handy for tracking your fitness and performance. And then you can even add things to your computer or your watch like power meters, external heart rate monitors, if you really want to get into the deep depths of data for really tracking how good you are and how well you're performing. Smartwatches and computers can offer really in-depth training aids and a way to keep an eye on your status. Using the sleep data from your watch, it can give you your training status, body battery score, training readiness, and loads of other interesting stuff to help you get fitter but not overwork. There's a very handy Garmin coach feature as well you can use, where you input this, basically a race or a challenge you're doing, tell it how far or how hard this thing's going to be, and then it works backwards and prescribes you a training plan, basically telling you what you need to do and when, so you're ready for that day in the calendar. If you're training on the bike, then again, having a computer up front is really handy. I like to have the timer, the distance, the elevation, and then an elevation graph, and my heart rate on there, so I can keep an eye on how far I'm going and how hard I'm pushing. Last but not least, you can use your technology for your safety and for your bike safety as well. A nice feature on the Garmin's is something called incident detection. If your device registers a crash, it will then give you a countdown timer, and if you don't cancel it or you can't cancel it, it will send out a message to your emergency contact, and it can share your location as well. You can choose which activity profiles you want that incident detection on. So maybe for like downhill riding, you might want to turn that off because it might register it by mistake if you do any big jumps. But for more epic riding and getting out there, it's a really nice feature to have. A satellite communicator like this is a really good little tool if you like getting out there into the middle of nowhere. Yes, now some phones can let you make SOS calls if you don't have phone signal, but these are a great tool, super robust, up to 14 days battery life, and you can even share a live tracking link, so someone sat in their office or sat at home can see exactly where you are on these things. The thing that made me think about one of these is actually I did a shoot in Torridon which is pretty wild, it's pretty out there. And there was 3 of us, me, Blake and a filmer, and the weather was really mixed. We had minimal amount of spares with us, and actually for about 6 hours that day we had no phone signal at all. And I thought afterwards that was probably a bit foolish, I've got to say. So that's when I got one of these things. This is a Garmin InReach Mini, costs about £200, and you do need a subscription for it as well to be able to use it properly. Like I said, it's super robust. You've got a way of giving an SOS. You've got navigation on here. You've got that live tracking feature. It can even give you a weather forecast, and it can last up to 14 days battery as well. So if you're getting out there into the middle of nowhere, particularly by yourself, I think it is a good idea to have something like that. Some bike computers have an alarm like this Garmin. Once it's set, if the bike is moved, it will act as a simple deterrent by giving off an alarm, but should be used with a lock as well. Other apps like the Bosch Flow can stop the motor being turned on and track the bike. All right, so there's some of the best e-mountain bike tech, and some of that you might already have, like a smartphone, and depending on how clever your brand of bike is and the software that comes with it, you might be set up already. Like I said, I really like to use my smartwatch for probably like enduro riding more than anything, where I don't need the navigation. It's really nice to just track it nice and simply on my watch. But for more epic rides, the computer, and even for super epic rides, that satellite communicator is really good for staying safe. But let me know if there's anything I've missed and any of your favourite e-mountain bike tech. Drop it in the comments down below.